Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are back here with Lisa Bragaw. Excited to have her here from Zen and Now Wellness Studio. She's from Niantic, Connecticut, but serving so many people worldwide. It's Zen and Now CT for Connecticut.com. And she does offer in-person classes, of course, and online as well. Let me have her introduce herself. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, I'm so well, Jill. Thank you for having me again. This is going to be hopefully a really fun talk. I'm looking forward to it. Yep, we are a yoga and wellness center. I call us like a boutique gym in southeastern Connecticut. We do all sorts of wellness in a holistic approach. So wellness coaching. I'm a pharmacist by education, so I incorporate healthy medication and safe medication use into my coaching as well.
And that's where Lisa's so unique because she sees both sides of the picture, right? Because they're
Right.
talking Eastern, Western medicine, and you know what could be helpful for both. Because I believe in medicine to a point, I believe in holistic things to a point, but when you combine them, that's got to be
Yes.
great knowing that you have that brain to do that.
It's really
It
rewarding and it's
sets you
helped me
above.
too. Yeah, I've been able to maximize my own health by implementing so many different strategies and not just kind of pigeonholing yourself into one way of thinking and believing.
Yeah, well, this is wonderful. I know mindset is very big for you. We discussed a lot about mindset. Is that something you want to share with us again to remind us a little bit about the positivity and what
I
that does for us?
Absolutely. Yeah, I really like to focus today on mindset and mindfulness and maybe do some mindfulness exercises
Sure.
that the listeners can maybe start to pepper into their daily routine and feel better, at home as well.
Awesome. Go ahead. Give me some example. I'm ready to go.
All right. All right. Well, mindset is so important. How we speak to ourselves is critical. And I find most of us, at least, in my world, we're really good at finding what's wrong and what's not going well. And it's hard for us to praise ourselves or to be kind in our self-talk. But if you're kind to yourself, it just exudes out and you're kind to other people. And it's kind of is a sprinkle effect for everybody else ends up feeling a little more calmer around you. And then they feel better about themselves as well. I love the thought of that inner critic, that inner voice. If you had a friend that talked to you like that, you wouldn't be friends with them anymore. Like you would
No,
never hang out with someone who talks to you the way you
no,
talk to yourself.
that is so true. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. So cultivating that inner dialogue is, it takes practice and it's simple, easy practices, but we need to do them. And what
Hmm.
I find really helpful is if you create these daily habits where you're being kind to yourself, you're saying nice things to yourself, or you're doing good things for your body or your mind, what we listen to, what we watch on TV, what we read, especially first and last thing in the day is really important for just kind of nourishing our whole mindset. And so if we can at least start and end the day with a little bit of positivity, whether you're listening to a podcast or you're reading something that is, that's something that lights you up or makes you feel a little better, or your gratitude journaling, those are all simple little habits that you can start to just set the tone for your day and start to get rid of those negative thoughts. So when something does really like trigger you or sets you off balance, you're not you're not scrambling through your toolbox of what did she tell me to do? What was I supposed to say? You've been practicing out already, so it'll come
And
quicker. So you can close that loop quicker instead of something knocking you over for like a week or a month. Maybe you can close that loop in a couple hours or 30 minutes or a day instead of really letting it ruin your life for much longer.
any tips on how we get there with mindset? What are the little
Yeah.
things you just mentioned a little bit about the gratitude and journaling? What else can
Yes.
we do?
Yeah, starting and ending your day with gratitude is really great. I know many people will start their day even before they get out of bed. They just place their hands over their heart, and just physically placing your hands over your heart releases oxytocin, which is the cuddle hormone, and it makes you feel a little lighter, and also stimulates your vagal nerve. And our vagal nerve is something they're really studying more and more about. Vagal nerve is one of the cranial nerves, and it innervates all of the vital organs. So by just placing your hands here over your heart and adding a little pressure, you feel more connected
Yeah.
and you feel like you're supported, but you're also helping your blood pressure to go down, your heart rate to go down, and your mind to quiet. It's impossible to silence our mind. And I think that's where people get confused or discouraged. They say, oh, I can't meditate because my mind is just too busy.
Yep.
And there's a quote, I think it's the Dalai Lama said it, or I'm not sure who said it, but he said, if we should meditate for 10 minutes a day. And if you don't have 10 minutes, then you should meditate for an hour.
I like that. You got me on that one. Like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then we really need it, right? So
Hmm.
but it's hard. It is hard to sit still. I encourage people to start with moving meditations. Yoga is wonderful for that, moving your body and focusing on your breath and moving your body with your breath and just kind of getting into all that and out of the looping thoughts. We tend to have this like your top 40 hits, but if you listen to the top 40 hits in your brain, check out how many of them are negative and how many of them are positive. And unless you practice,
Guilty.
most of us, they're not so nice. They're not so kind.
Guilty. And it's the same stuff every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got to get out of that. We got to think more positive, be more positive. And you mentioned yoga. Obviously, I know you have a studio. Where specifically in Connecticut?
We're in Niantic, Connecticut, southeastern Connecticut. We do have Zoom classes as well. So you can always Zoom in from anywhere in the world. We have people coming in from all over
You
the
have
world.
some heated yoga classes too, right? I saw that
We
on the
do have
website.
heated yoga. Yeah,
How
we have
hot does it
heated
get in
yoga.
there? I'm out of the yoga loop, okay? Because this
Yeah.
I've been a mom for so long. I haven't gone out to a yoga class, to a gym. Tell me, what are the and that?
Our yoga is about 90 degrees and it's like moderate humidity because the way we cool our bodies is when the sweat comes to the surface and then
Mhm.
evaporates. That's how our bodies naturally cool. So if
Okay.
you're in a really, really, really hot room and it's very humid, your own body's not going to cool itself. And I feel really depleted if it gets much hotter than that. So we're 90 to 95 and like some just mild humidity.
Awesome, awesome,
It feels
awesome.
so good. It's very relaxing. And I find the heated yoga makes you breathe a little more focus on your breathing. I find that I get into deeper stretch without forcing it. And that's really important that you're not forcing yourself into any of these practices.
Hmm.
And we have non-heated yoga classes as well. And people who don't want the heat will often Zoom in from home because they still want to do the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
fun.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
fun.
Awesome. Let's just remind them of the website one more time,
Very.
zenandnowct.com. Also on social media, can we find you?
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all under Zen and Now.
Awesome. Didn't
Thanks.
know if you want to continue along the mode of mindset or talking about all the benefits of the yoga and the stress relief and anxiety
Yeah.
relief. And tell me, what did you want to discuss?
It's all related. It really
Yeah.
is all related. And it does change your mindset. So showing up for yourself is, huge. And we don't. I talked last time about the leftover lifestyle.
Yeah.
When you take care of yourself after with whatever time is left over from everybody else you're taking care of and everything else that you're doing. If you just make a little time for yourself and show up, when you show up stronger and more calm and more grounded, then you show up better and you get more done. So
Yeah.
it's really a win-win. By making time for yourself, you're actually going to make time for more people and you won't be as depleted. So again, whether it's a walking meditation, and you don't have to call it meditation, you can just go for a walk and just count your steps or focus on your breathing or look around at nature and
Yeah.
notice, just noticing. How many times have you driven home or through a neighborhood you've been through a million times, and when you actually look around you're like, oh my god, I never even knew that house was there, or I never even knew
Wow.
that whatever was there, right? So
Yeah. It's
it's
so
paying
true.
attention, really, is really all it is. So
Yeah.
mindfulness, there's several definitions of mindfulness. John Kabat-Zinn, I really love his work. He started at the UMass Medical School, and he's done a lot of work all over the world, but he did a lot of work in Boston, and I went to school in Boston, so I've been following him for a really long time. And I love the way he defines mindfulness. He says it's paying attention in the present moment on purpose and in a non-judgmental way. So you just look at what is just as it is right now without making any judgments around it. We tend to label everything, right? Like, this is good, that's bad. This is good, that's bad. And if we can just look at it as it is and be like, okay, what's the lesson in this for me? I like to say, well, that's interesting. That's as judgy as I want to get. Like if something's going on, like, what's this lesson in it for me? Or if it's something that's uncomfortable, I'll be like, okay, what's the lesson in this for me? Or, how can I find the silver lining here? There's got to be
Mhm.
something, some lesson that's going to come from this.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just in, your core, your nature, like you mentioned, as a pharmacist, what brought you here into the holistic side of things? Because you were so, I don't know what the word is. I can't, it's not medicinal. It's you were trained your brain about
Yeah.
medications. How about, can you explain it to me?
Sure, sure.
Not
Well, I
everybody in your
think you,
position can see that. Some people believe in that only.
yeah, I never did. I don't think I ever really did. I've always been into fitness, and eating well. Like I've had issues with IBS and
Yeah, we've talked
different
about that.
neuromuscular problems that I've
Mhm.
had to work around by adjusting my diet, by adjusting my posture and my activities,
Gosh.
and what really my posture that really serves me, that helps me feel better.
Hmm.
Again, when you show up better, you feel better, and then you do better. So yeah, I think I just came into pharmacy as a being someone who can help people, because we are in the public eye. We see people every day, and oftentimes we see them more than most of the time we see them more than their doctor. They'll see their doctor once or twice a year, and we see them every month when they come in to fill a prescription. So you really get to know your population, and they open up to you and they'll say, like, I really don't take my medicine. I'm like, okay. Or what else can I do? And I've been able to help people with stress and sleep um and weight, and becoming fit and healthy. Even before I taught yoga, I was able to just, with my interest and my knowledge base, I've been able to think about things from a big picture: what you're eating, what you're putting in your mouth, as far as medications, as far as food, as far as hydration. Hydration
Yeah.
is really big. A lot of us don't even think about how much water we drink. Look at you go.
All right, this is a
Yeah.
tea. Okay. I did have a coffee this morning, guilty, but then I got my water.
Yeah.
I got another water.
There you go.
But it
Hydration's
is.
huge. And a lot of us, you wake up in the morning, you're really sticky, and then you move a little bit, and things start to get unstuck. That is your body hydrating itself. Every time you move your body, you're hydrating. Every time you move a joint, you're creating some more fluidity in those joints. So you just want to start slow, especially if you have arthritis. You just want to start slow and move your body a little, and then more and more as it feels good. And then you get rid of that stiffness. But so
Yeah.
many of us wake up in the morning, they're like, oh, I can't
Oh,
get out of bed. I'm so stiff. And then they just don't do anything because it hurts or it's hard. And so doing, again, getting into that mindset, I'm worth it. I'm worth it, and it's important. And the little bit that I can take care of myself today it's gonna make strides towards better and better and better wellness, and just feeling good and doing what you want to do as long as you can. Like, I really think that's huge.
yeah. And again, Zen and Now, you can go right online to book a class. You also do cycling. Can you explain the different
Yeah.
classes that you have? Because there's a lot.
Yeah, we do a little of everything. I like to say they're my favorite classes and my favorite instructors. I just share them with everybody else. So we do several different types of fitness classes, from HIIT to TRX. We have one called CAST, and it's cardio, abs, and strength training. We have cycle classes. We have all different styles of yoga, from very slow, stretchy, meditative yin yoga, all the way up to hot power yoga.
Hmm.
And I also have a class I love to teach called Yoga Tone and Sculpt. And I love it because it's for people who think they can't do yoga, or they don't know how to do yoga, but maybe they've done a fitness class, or people who do yoga and they tend to do more gentle yoga, but the strength
Yes.
training could really be beneficial. Having a strong core is not just about a six pack, that's just an aesthetic bonus. But having a really deep, strong core, everything else falls into place and it becomes easier. You stand up for yourself, you stand up, and you show up. So I do try to pepper in something different. And if you do the same thing every single day, that's not really serving your body either. You need to mix it up a little bit so that you are a little more harmonious and more balanced in the
Oh, thank you for that.
body.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's remind everyone of all your contact information again, phone number, studio website, please.
Sure. The website is zenandnowct.com, and you can email me at lisa@zenandnowct.com. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And our phone number is 860-739-2625.
Great. And would you mind sharing? I know you told me before, but there's new listeners every week about your own scaredness. You neglected your own body at a
Yes.
point, right? Could you talk
Yes.
a little bit about that?
Sure.
Because we all do. Let's
Yes.
guilty. Would you
Yeah.
mind sharing a little bit about your
No,
story?
I don't mind at all. I love sharing. Yeah, because if I can help someone else not get as bad as I got and start to recognize symptoms earlier and act on it, then absolutely it's a great thing to do. Yeah, back in the day, I had three small children. I was working, our store was open 12 hours, but I'd go in an hour early and stay an hour late or more just because there was no patients in there and I could actually get things done. So
Mm,
I was in a really busy store working 14, sometimes 15 hours a day in one spot with the phone crooked in my ear and my hands up here typing and
of course.
just really bad ergonomics. And I ignored my symptoms for years to the point where we weren't even sure what was wrong with me. I couldn't hold my head up. I couldn't feel my hands. I can actually still not feel my very tips of my fingers, but I can feel most of my hands again. I did have carpal tunnel surgery, but I was in just this really bad postural, bad ergonomic situation and very stressed out. And I think my shoulders were in my ears, and I think I breathed to my collarbones for a good 30 years.
Wow.
And then I learned how to take a deep breath and to relax the body and to start to strengthen, especially my upper back. Many of
Mm,
us roll forward in our population. We're forward on our computers. We're forward when we're driving our cars. We're all rolled forward because we're stressed out or we're sad or we're just not feeling confident, we roll forward. And this is really cool. You can try this on, everybody can try this. So if you lean forward and just kind of slump into it, do you feel your energy go? And
yeah.
then when you roll your shoulders back, it's a 2-degree shift. You lift your sternum, your breastbone, just 2 degrees. And it's like,
It's a
roll those
world of
shoulders.
difference. It is.
Totally. Yeah. And that's how quick you can change your state. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest up, and just take a breath. And immediately, don't you feel better?
Yeah,
You
and
just like, you
but
just lit up.
I'm looking at you though too. You look a little tan. I'm a little jealous. You're
Oh,
glowing, your skin. I'm so white. Good tan makes you feel good. Some
a
vitamin
little, it
D.
does, a little sun, a little healthy. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I was able to go on vacation recently and visit my son down in New Orleans. It was very fun. And we were outside a lot. So it was
Tell me
great.
about your son quick. Do you mind?
Yeah, no, my son, I have three boys. My oldest is in the Coast Guard and he is stationed down in New Orleans right now. So we got to go down and do all the touristy things and play and
Amazing.
met up with a high school friend I hadn't seen in years. So that was super fun.
Proud mama. That's why she's
Yeah,
glowing today. Yes,
yeah,
not just the sun, but you got to see her, one of her boys. That's awesome.
yep, yep, it is. And making time for yourself is so important. Owning the studio, it's hard for me to get away. And so just taking those few days to get away, the studio did fine. Everybody steps up and they help out. We always think, and I did this in the pharmacy too. If I take time off, it's going to fall apart. They won't open the store. They won't, whatever. And that's not true. If we take care of ourselves and take some time off, things aren't going to fall
Maybe.
apart.
No,
You're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay.
I love it. I love
You
it.
got
I
to
love it.
recharge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what do you love best about, having your own studio? Did you ever dream of owning your own studio? How did
I
it come
did.
about? Like, and then, not just going to yoga classes and helping out and whatever. Then how did you, yeah. And you're still
Yeah.
practicing as a pharmacist as well?
I am, but I really cut my hours way back. I'm
Okay.
trying,
Wow.
I'm trying to say I'm a retired pharmacist, but
Okay. Okay. Soon.
but I still I work
Yeah.
per diem and I'm working, this week a couple days. So
Okay.
um, but I do love it. And I worked really hard for my degree and I'm still helping people, so I like the more one-on-one. That's what I do more of in my pharmacy world is I do one-on-one counseling with patients. So I really do love that. Um, and I'm sorry, I forget the question you asked me before that though.
Oh,
About, oh,
about,
how did I open the studio?
yeah, like
Yes. So that was a very happy accident.
a happy accident.
A very
There
happy
are
accident.
no accidents. I like these happy
There are no
accidents. Yeah.
accidents. No. They say coincidences are God's way of staying anonymous. So I love to think about that you're guided to do what you're meant to be doing. Yeah, so I specialized in medication therapy management, one-on-one counseling for patients to go over their medications, not just their medications, but like I looked at the whole picture. What other
Hmm.
alternative things are they doing? What other herbals? Because they often will not tell their physicians what else they're taking or what other things they do because they think that they're going to scoff at it or whatever. If they're doing acupuncture or yoga or chiropractic or things that they might think that people don't approve of. But so I looked at the whole picture and I really got to know my patients. And then I was practicing yoga for myself and just started teaching it on the side. So my dream was to open this studio. I even had the name, I had the business model all set up, and it was to do the medication therapy management and teach yoga like in the back room. And then on its head when I had a friend of mine say, I want, but I work in Boston and I'm never here and I don't have the time to run it. So I said, well, I do because I just finished my graduate degree. It's time now. So I opened the studio with a friend, and it was funny because we were looking at space. We knew we wanted to offer cycle. We knew we wanted to offer yoga. So we needed a little bigger space. We ended up with a 4,000 square foot spot to start, so much bigger than we ever planned. And we're like, well, we might as well go big or go home. Let's just do it. And so yeah, so here we are. And it's just grown and evolved, and we roll with the times. All through COVID, we had to just keep pivoting and pivoting. And, but that's what yoga and, just being in the moment allows you to do. Like, okay, here's that roadblock. All right, well, now we're going to detour. Oh, there's another, let's pivot over here. And it just allows us to keep moving,
Oh, speaking
keep
of
going.
moving, so you started now teaching yoga, right? How did you get involved with yoga specifically? Because then you became certified. Like,
I
how did
did.
you just love, you had a passion for it, and then all of a sudden
Well,
people kept asking you to teach classes or something,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's funny. I had these injuries. I had these really bad neuromuscular injuries, and I was rolled forward. I was in
Mm-hmm.
pain every day, and I started taking a yoga class um, from a few different instructors, and I was really benefiting from it. It was starting to peel back all those layers and put me back into alignment. I now I can actually stand up taller. When I first started practicing yoga regularly, I grew a quarter inch. So my whole life, I was
Wow.
5'3" and 3/4, my whole adult life.
Come
5'3" and 3/4.
on,
I
really?
could never say I was 5'4" until I started yoga. Now I'm officially all the way up that whole quarter inch. But I stand up taller. I've got more space in my between my vertebrae, so I just feel better. My nerves have more space to, get to the rest of the body, so I can actually feel my hands again. But yeah, I started yoga, and then I wanted to learn how to do a home practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to teacher training. No intention of teaching ever. Never, ever. And I said that the whole training. I'm never going to teach. I don't need to learn that part because I'm never going to teach. And then to get the certificate, they said, well, you have to teach 8 classes to the community to get the certificate. Well, I didn't need the certificate if I was never going to teach, but
Yeah.
I certified in all these other pharmacy related things. I'm like, I need the certificate. I need that piece of paper, which I really don't. So I did teach those classes, and when those 8 classes were up, they asked me to keep teaching, and then they offered to pay me. So I was like, wow, because they benefited. And then I learned it's not about me, it's about
Mm-hmm.
sharing and helping other people be well.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. There was a really great article. It's like a blog I read years ago, and it said, yoga teachers stop teaching yoga. And I was like, I got to read that. What does that mean?
Yeah.
So I read this article and I share it all the time with people. And it said, don't regurgitate what your teacher taught you, what you learned in your training. Share your practice with me. And that's what I've done ever since. Isn't that
Beautiful.
beautiful?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so
Yeah.
nice. Love
Yeah.
your energy. All right, we still have 5 minutes left in the show.
All right.
Lisa from Zen and Now, what else do you want to share with everyone?
Do you want to do a little mindfulness
Yeah,
practice?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm trying to
All
sit
right.
up taller,
So,
but go ahead.
all right. Sit up. You don't have to sit up tall, but you'll feel better if you do. So you want to sit up tall, but then kind of relaxed in your seat as well. And then wiggle around. It's really funny. Notice even now where you're sitting, but when you get in your car later or when you're standing up, notice how you stand and how you sit. We often tend to lean up to one side. Just pay attention to that and see if you can bring it to a little more center. And then one hand over your heart, one hand over that. And you can close your eyes, but you don't have to. You can always keep your eyes open and gaze forward and down, just sitting up tall and relaxing your shoulders, and take a big breath into your belly and then let it go. When we deep belly breath, it helps the body to relax. It helps to calm the mind. And again, a big belly breath in and a big sigh out. And now with your hands over your heart, say this to yourself, and you can say it out loud or silently after me, but say this to yourself. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be healthy and strong. May I be free and safe. May I live with ease of well-being. And then try to find someone who's really easy to send loving kindness to. someone who supports you, and say to them, may you be happy and peaceful. May you be healthy and strong. May you be free and safe. May you live with ease of well-being. And then draw to mind somebody neutral. You might not know their name, maybe someone you see at the grocery store or walking down the street. Maybe it's a whole culture of different people you don't even know. And send loving kindness to them, saying, may you be happy and peaceful. May you be healthy and strong. May you be free and safe. May you live with ease of well-being. And then including yourself, sending loving kindness out to the whole world, to all sentient beings, saying the pronoun we. May we be happy and peaceful. May we be healthy and strong. May we be free and safe. And may we live with ease of well-being. How do you feel? Good. Yeah, when we send loving kindness to ourselves and then send it out to others, and it just spreads, you're going to show up better, you're going to feel better. But watching how we talk to ourselves, watching what that radio station's saying, what that top 40 hits is saying, and replacing it with kinder things, making it a habit.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing that and for
You're so
walking us
welcome.
through a little bit of that as well.
You're so welcome.
Oh, got goosebumps. And I'm going to be more mindful of my posture as well. All right, Zen and Now, tell us how we contact you.
Sure. zenandnowct.com is our website. You can email me at lisa@zenandnowct.com. Call us at 860-739-2625, or find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn as Zen and Now.
All right, good. We'll see you there. Thank you so much. Pleasure speaking with you. Have a great day. Have a great week. And enjoy the sun starting to come out in our area, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you get that rainstorm last night?
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was.
All right. Wild.
Good. Well, it's back to the sunshine here, at least in New York. I think it's your way already, or it's heading your way.
I think it's past us now. It's clearing now.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.